Welcome to What You're Making, a podcast about sharing ideas and connecting with the maker community. Your hosts are Alex Adams, engineer turned furniture maker of Type A furniture, and alien pretending to be a woodworker. Alex Duffy of Duffy Woodcraft. What You're Making is proudly sponsored by Next Wave CNC.
Hey guys, and welcome to What You're Making, a podcast where we talk all about what's on our bench, spotlight makers throughout the community, and remind you that the state of Maine is known as the pine tree state. 89% covered in forest, it produces 90% of the nation's lobsters and 90% of the world's toothpick supply. Tonight's main topic is the Maine Event with two special guests, but more about them in just a moment. I'm Alex Duffy, and you can find me on Instagram and on YouTube at Duffy Woodcraft.
And I am Alex over at Type A Furniture. And if I mysteriously disappear, it's because I've been taking laxatives for the last 2 days. So we'll see how this goes.
Oh, man. So how is your back?
It's better. But that's a side effect of the medicine is making your bowel kind of stop up. So, yeah.
Fun. No, not really. But you know what is fun?
Our patrons.
Yeah, there you go.
And patrons can become patrons by going to patreon.com/whatyourmakingshow and subscribing by any of the various tiers, starting at just $5.
And What You're Making is proudly sponsored by Next Wave CNC. If you're looking for the best CNC in the market today, look no further than a Shark CNC from Next Wave. 100% American made from Perrysburg, Ohio. Next Wave is the leader in desktop CNCs with sizes from a 1x1 to a 4x4. You'll find a machine that is right for your shop in any size and price point. But let's start with... So those who are watching on YouTube have seen that we have two special guests, not just one this week, but two. Hunter, Brandon, welcome to the show. This is Hunter Lockett and Brandon Smith, the two hosts of the Maine Events. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good to be here.
So for those who may not know you guys, will you guys give a little intro of yourself?
Yeah, Brandon, you want to go? I'll go. All right. My name is Hunter Locke. I am a furniture maker. I go by the Instagram username and business name as Black Tenant Furniture. Build all sorts of custom furniture, anything that comes my way. And I'm doing content creation now and also co-host of the Maine Woodworking Event.
My name is Brandon. I go by Cross and Miter all over the internet. And I pretend like I know what I'm doing, right? Like 90% of the time. But I build bespoke furniture, dining tables, kitchen islands, just so that I can keep the lights on and keep buying fancy tools. That's what it boils down to.
I'm really jealous of that tool wall behind you. Like, I'm going to come steal some of them.
We all are.
It's a great backdrop.
See, that's not okay. He just so for those who are listening, he just turned the camera and there's this giant wall of Bessie clamps and bar clamps and everything red and silver.
Want to see another one? Want to see another wall? Oh, look at those chisels. Oh, it's so good.
I'm looking at the saws that you had on that wall.
He's got everything in
those Bad Axe saws?
I have some Bad Axe saws. I have some Blue Spruce saws. I think I have one from Lee Nielsen. Yeah.
Do you have kids at all?
I have a daughter.
So is that her college fund back there?
Oh, she's good. College is overrated. You know, she'll be all right.
Awesome. Well, why don't we get into if the audio will play.
What you doing?
Alex, what did you do this week? What's on your bench?
So I just was able to actually start doing stuff with the issues with my back. But a lot of it was prepping for my CNC to arrive, which is these boxes behind me that I have yet to open.
Yay!
So I had to do a little bit of cleaning. I finally cleaned up the pile of lumber that was in the driveway that's been sitting in there for months that my wife wanted me to move and claims was an eyesore, so that the delivery could actually go all the way back to the garage. So I moved all that stuff back behind the garage.
Probably not something you should be doing with a bad back.
So I will preface this with most of it was on casters. So it was basically just like roll it onto the casters a little bit and good to go. So the time that I spent working with the furniture store on moving furniture in and out, I have maximized leverage and mechanical advantage. So I minimized that usage on there. So I did keep that in check. So anyway, I did a lot of getting that stuff moved once I like felt decent. So the next thing was getting the garage semi kind of cleaned out. So I actually had space for this to actually come into the garage. I still have to do just a smidge more cleaning to open up the space where I'm actually going to set up everything. But that shouldn't take too long because the garage is kind of my catch-all pile for stuff. So once I get some of that trash thrown out and whatnot, it'll be smooth sailing from there. I hope at least is that's what it is. Probably the only actual project that I did was one with my son, where he wanted to make like a little letter opener that was kind of like a little dagger / sword. So what he wanted was he wanted me to carve out of a solid block of walnut, like the handle. It had like what's the part that protects your hands? Is that the hilt or is the hilt the end of the handle? I can't remember. I don't know my terminology.
Guard, right? Isn't that just the guard?
The blade guard?
The pommel is the end. So
right. I've watched Fortune Fire.
Yeah, right. Here we go. I think you were right.
Yeah. Anyway, like I went through on the bandsaw and I made some of those cuts, and then I made cuts on where the blade was, and I like made a mistake by making certain cuts before others because then you didn't have supporting material to run it through the bandsaw for the next cut. So I had to do the double-sided tape to stick those pieces back on to go back through and make those cuts. So I just roughed out the shape that he kind of drew onto it with the dimensions. And then I basically let him go to town using a just kind of like it's just like your regular kind of carving knife, your very generic one. He kind of got bored of that pretty quickly. Because he realized how much extra work it would be to like shape it, which he I can't remember. Did I tell you about this? About him going into the shop when he wasn't supposed to and getting another tool?
No.
Oh, what tool?
Yeah, because I tell him like my one rule, like, but basically like I guess 2 rules is. 1, I need to be the shop with him when he goes into the shop, and 2, he needs to have basically the same amount of protection on him as I do if I'm doing anything. So basically like shoes, glasses, whatever. I mean, if I'm just sanding, like, he doesn't need a whole lot of extra stuff. But he broke my shop rule and he went and he got a bowl carving gouge, which is not a beginner friendly tool. And he cut his thumb with that. Fortunately, like it's just like a little small cut, like it's not a power tool, so the issue was very quickly found once it found flesh. So I wrapped it up with him. I told him like, hey buddy, we got to make sure that we follow the rules and we only go in the shop when Dad is there, because if we're getting new tools, Dad needs to make sure that you know how to use it properly so you don't hurt yourself. So we had a teachable moment there. So because I was just like in the other room watching March Madness games, and I had not realized that he had like scurried downstairs. So like, he wasn't supposed to be down there, but supervision stuff. So I mean, potato. So anyway, that was the kind of the arc of that particular story. And that
Can I ask one leading question that kind of ties in? Hopefully it doesn't detract too far, but like on a scale from 1 to 5, just around the bang, like how dialed in is your, like, how much do you trust your bandsaw? Like, is good, is cutting straight, or like, it's all right?
I would say like a 3.5. So like, it's got right now it's got like oh gosh, what is it? Is it a 3/8 blade? I think that's on it. So originally I set it up as like a resaw blade, and I had a resaw king blade on there. When that blade actually popped, I was like, I'll just try the smaller one and see how that goes. So when I had that resaw king on there, like, it was like super, super smooth, but I needed something to get curves and whatnot. So I went down to is it Timberwolf? Is that the name of the brand? I think that was the one that I had bought. It's just the stock guides that are on there. It's a jet. Is it the 14-inch, the 14 SFX or something like that. I need to get, like, it's been on my list to get like aftermarket bearings on it to get something a little bit nicer to kind of hone that in a little bit more. I just haven't had the need to do that because I'm not doing a whole lot of like high precision stuff. Like, I'm not doing anything like the level of Alex Snodgrass where he's like cutting out a reindeer out of a single block of wood. It's mainly like trimming stuff that needs to be flush trimmed or something along those lines. So I haven't had a need to like upgrade that quite yet, but I would like to be in a state where it is a lot smoother.
Man, I only asked because I have my bandsaw at like a 2. To where like I avoided using it. I was just like, nah, it's fine. I'll use something else. And then like I forced Hunter to like spend a few hours dialing in my bandsaw for me. So it's at like a 4.5 right now. But if I ever need to change the blade or do anything, like, it's just over. Like, it's just resaw king 3/4-inch blade. That's it. It's just,
I have to drive.
Sounds like you just need to have bandsaw sleepovers where when you change the blade, he comes over and, you braid each other's hair, you eat snacks, play Chubby Bunny,
Totally.
and then your bandsaw is good to go.
Yeah, totally. Just a
Hunter,
quick 5-hour
can you
trek.
come over to mine too, and you fly out to Portland?
I would love to. Just fly across the country.
You can go to
Dude, it's too
Portland,
bad.
Maine pretty quick.
that's what
I
I'm
think.
saying. It's too bad you're not in Portland, Maine. You chose the wrong Portland, is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
The West Coast Portland's the best one. How about you, Brandon? What's been on your shop this week?
I have a few things I'm working on. Typically I build dining tables and kitchen island, and it's like a 10-foot kitchen island that I need to build, but I'm not building the center cabinets around. So there's like 80 inches of cabinets, and I'm building the black walnut accents around it. There's like a shelf for spices and like the island extend for the seating and all that stuff. So like it's all being wrapped and so forth. So it sounds intricate, but it's like a lot of like milling black walnut into like strips, right? To like laminate up and like glue up some legs and stuff like that. Aside from that, I have a chessboard that I'm working on and like another chess set, because I've been saying it for like 6 months that I was going to build another one. So like I'm actually doing it now. And I came up with this bookmark idea. So I have like, a bookmark that's themed for horror, adventure, sci-fi, so forth and so on. And they're like custom engraved, and like that's a product line that I'm kind of toying with that I might come out with soon.
So like laser engraved or like CNC?
Laser engraved, because it's pretty intricate. Like it has a lot of cutouts. I don't want to show it. It's like right here, but I'm trying to like be a little.
I was just wondering what tools you're using for it.
Yeah, I'm using the laser engraver for that one. We can't all be Alex Duffy and like master our CNC. Some of us struggle.
No.
Hey, if you were at the CNC Summit, you probably could.
You could have last week, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Don't worry, I missed it too because I was like slammed.
I was in Ireland. I couldn't have made it anyway.
Okay, so that's totally worth it.
I don't feel bad for you.
It is digital, so you could have made it.
It depends on
gotten
what
it
time.
several hours ahead of everyone else.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, no, it was an online summit. But I would rather be in Ireland than have done that last week. Easy. My question was, so I was going to say, I also do bookmarks. I have like 20 different designs that I all sell and do. And are you actually doing cutouts, or are they just going to be engraved?
Both. So like
Both.
the
Nice.
name for the person, right? Like if it's a gift, whatever. And the idea is to sell, like you can buy one bookmark, but no one buys one, right? You overprice one so people buy the set. And that's
yeah.
the goal, is to like get people to buy the 4-piece set so they have like the assortment of the collection.
I was gonna say I sell them individually, but that's me. But I do them at book, or fairs and that kind of stuff. Like, so I'm out at craft fairs and stuff, which I doubt you're out doing. So
No, but my primary platform for social media is TikTok, and like there's like a Book-Tok community,
oh yeah,
and I in at least hopefully I'm trying to infiltrate that community and like be their guy.
well, the biggest book on Book-Tok right now is Dungeon Crawler Carl. So make sure you come up with some kind of design for that.
Oh, I really have to look into Dungeon Crawler Carl. I don't even know who that is.
That's the book series that I'm currently reading and absolutely love it. It's phenomenal. I'm in book 7. But anyways, Hunter, what about you? What have you been doing this week?
Real quick.
Sorry.
I was going to bring up this one thing because I had mentioned it to Duffy a few episodes ago when he was, I think it was the not the alien dioramas or something along those lines, and I had made the suggestion in order to get those follow-on sales to basically have those scenes merged together so then it would come together so they have reason to come back and get more. So if they're only getting one, it mates with the rest, so they have a reason to come back and find you to get more and add on,
right.
So that they have,
especially
the
for the
so
bookmarks.
so if like you have the bookmarks and they like either they interlock or together they make like a full image, because the other thing that comes to mind is like, especially if you've got a series that's multiple books where you've got themes for each, having the set.
I probably need to reach out to Duffy after this podcast, because one of the ideas that I had was like to entice people to buy the 4-piece set is to make some kind of box or case or whatever that looks kind of like a book. So like it sits on a shelf, but I don't know. I'm not that good with my CNC, but you are.
So you're talking more like a shadow box or a display box for them?
I have no idea. I haven't gotten that far, but I know the idea is good. Like having that also be something that they display, maybe like in the background while they're doing their content and all that stuff. Like the whole set of them is sitting there, right? Like there's some hook there, but I just haven't fleshed it out yet.
Yeah, there's lots of potential and ideas, and whittling it down is the hard part.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to do trainings.
Listen, if you start selling a bookmark book, just 5%. That's what
get exhibit up in here. Yo, dog, we got a bookmark for your book and a book that books your bookmark.
It's it is officially on record, so yes, I will give you 5% if I start doing that.
Boom, contract signed.
Hunter, how about you, man? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm kind of working on. It's like super nerdy, but so.
Hey, you're in the right group here.
Yeah, true. A couple.
Bro, I'm playing Pokemon Crystal on an emulator on my phone right now. Not like right now, but like
different kind of
nerdy.
Nerdy. A couple of years back, my cousin's really into tea and like traditional Chinese tea ceremonies, and so I made like a special tea table, like smaller-ish tea table for him. And recently, my sister-in-law became a tea sommelier. She got her like certificate, which is a thing I didn't know existed, but it's kind of cool.
That's so cool.
And so I built her another one, and I redesigned it. And so I'm finishing that one, and I just like, of course, scrolling TikTok, came across like a smallish tea brand company, and they were talking about like tea towels and tea trays. And so I just like DM'd him. I was like, dude, check this out. I've designed this. Does anything like this exist elsewhere? Because like it just came from my brain. And he was like, no, but like I think we should sell those. So I'm building him one right now so he can, try it out, see if we can tweak things a little bit. Cause like I'm no tea expert. It's just like, what I thought would be cool. But it's like a little like 26-inch by 18-inch table-esque thing. Has like Kumiko panels on the side, and it's got the one I made is walnut with brass accents and like bridal jointed legs. It's super cool and fun, but like a nice little change of pace. It's a little it's got like a little dish almost with slats with a tray underneath, so it catches tea spillage and stuff. It's really interesting. I really like the tea ceremony. I'm getting into it. The guy sent me a bunch of tea stuff, so I'm into it now. But
so for that sommelier thing, is that like
yeah,
is the like governing body, is it like British or like, because I'd imagine that like that's the like the place to do it, or like is it like
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the
Far
British
East.
stole it from the Chinese, man.
Yeah. I like.
well, yeah, they like to appropriate anything and make it their own, and
Right.
China
China
make their,
always came up with it first anyway.
centralize
too,
it,
but- I don't know. I don't know where the sommelier like certificate comes from, but I'm into like the Chinese style. Like it's pretty cool. The teapots and stuff are sick. But I'm messing around with that, and I'm thinking I'm gonna build a new router table this week, and then start on a crib for my son is probably the next thing coming up. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I was in China, like 10 years ago now. It was before COVID, but one of the things like on my bucket list was to do like a traditional tea service and sit down. And we went to a tea market. And so I probably brought back like 20 pounds of tea that of all these different types that I had found. And like this gal was like, this one you drink if you have an upset stomach, this one if you want to lose weight, this one if your leg hurts. Like it was so weird. It was just, but it was so cool.
Yeah, they love their tea over there. In like preschools, they have like green tea. You get into your preschool, they do green tea mouthwashes. You like swish it and then you spit it out. And that's like your fresh start for the day. And then they have it like on tap all day. Like it's crazy. It's super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All I can think of is the Mr. Deeds, the Hawaiian punch fountain, but with tea.
Yeah. Basically. Basically.
All right. Well,
what about you,
speaking,
Duffy? What are you working on?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of nerdy stuff, I am in full production mode for UFO Fest, which is coming up in the end of May. So I got my first 40 UFO lamps done on the CNC. I've got another 40 I'm working on to do. So at least all the cutouts on the CNC, I still have to build them. And then I call them signs, but they're like wall art pieces that I paint. And so I've got, 50 depending between two different sizes I'm making. And actually yesterday, and I'm going to show it here on the screen, I was painting the background for these wall art pieces, and I learned, thank you YouTube University, I went down the spray paint tutorial of how to make like northern lights.
Cool.
So I was spray painting those, and then I'll do a carving of like a UFO and Sasquatch on these, or people. Yeah, so that'll be super fun. Hunter, your camera went away again.
Yeah, I don't know what I didn't click anything that time.
It's fine. It's recording locally.
This is why we don't
you're
bring him
good.
anywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
I was telling him beforehand that it was giving me issues, but then I fixed it.
He's just in the timeout corner.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I'm still. So I've been working on my walnut tables. I've got 2 walnut end tables and a coffee table that I'm making using pennies as an inset, and those are all done, except that they're now just sitting on curing with Rubio, which is. I have a love-hate relationship with hard wax oil because I hate that now I have to sit here and wait a long, long time for it to cure before I can, finish up the project. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And
As
then
the UV
As the
hard
resident
wax oil?
CNC,
the UV hard oil, I have not.
Yeah, you can do a UV cure on it that will instantly cure when you put the UV light over it. The oil itself is basically comparable. It's the light that's the more expensive portion. So if you have like a large area, and you have like a smaller light, you have to go over it multiple times. So if you have bigger pieces, a bigger light would be better for something like that. So if you're only doing small pieces, but a lot of them, and you want to do that as a finish, like you can get away with a smaller UV light.
Yeah, the company
Very
that makes that
interesting
oil,
segment.
they rent that light by the week. That thing is expensive.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
depends
know.
on
I've
how
seen
nice
it.
a one you want.
Yeah, I was like on one of the local big makers here in Portland, Cam from Blacktail. I've seen in his videos him use that before, and he's got a giant UV wand that he uses. But
Yeah, Suman has tested a lot of that stuff. I talked to him about it once, and we had a conversation a long time ago about like what worked, what didn't, like the different types of UV lights that you can get and which ones actually work, and the intensity and how close you need to be, like all the scientific, like nerdy stuff about it.
yeah,
Dude, as the resident CNC guy, are you doing the joinery for your table on your CNC, or did you do it a different way?
no, not for these ones. I have done those, and I will for the end tables. I did the joiner. So the end tables are just some walnut glue ups, and then I did a route to do the pennies because the client wants some pennies as part of it because he likes walnut and pennies, whatever.
It looks like a crop circle,
And so
actually related to the.
you kind of, there's two. There's one with a spiral, and then one that I just is a full, penny tabletop. But. And then I'm just gonna do some metal. He wanted black metal legs, so I've got these tulip bases, so those will just screw in. So, but if I'm doing actual like wood, I will do the joinery on the CNC.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with my camera. I'm trying to figure it out.
That's okay, man. We'll just keep rolling while you click away. And then lastly, I did, so yay, I got into 2 more retail locations this week. So I signed contracts with them. So I will be starting in May doing or having gift items at their stores. So now I have to start planning inventory for that on top of the UFO Fest, which is exciting, but I was really hoping it was going to be in June, not May. So happy problem.
And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
So, besides your camera issues, Hunter, has anything gone wrong in the shop this week for you?
All right, so this is kind of a funny story. It's not really a woodworking project didn't go wrong, but I'm out here scrolling Facebook Marketplace and I see a Powermatic dual drum sander, and I have a Woodmaster single drum, and I'm like, dual drum better than single drum. Let me pick that up. And I'm like, let me list my Woodmaster sander for sale because like, why not? So I DM the guy or whatever. I'm like, yo, I want to come get this drum sander. And he's like, cool, sounds good. And so I list mine. Someone like hits me up immediately on mine. It's like, yo, I can come tomorrow and pick it up. I'm like, great. Guy comes, buys my drum sander. That day, the Powermatic drum sander guy says, hey, I sold it to somebody else. So I'm out of drum sander. Which is, it's funny. It's not like an issue because I have a couple local shops that like have wide belts near me, and I don't use it all that much, but kind of funny, so that's a whoopsie on my part, but but so I had some cash laying around, so I bought a 3D printer, so like that's fun.
Love it. What'd you get?
I got the P2S, the Bamboo Labs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, so that's kind of funny. We'll figure it out. I kind of want to get a wide belt, so we'll see where that goes.
So is that your first 3D printer?
I bought a 3D printer like 8-9 years ago. I got the CR10 back when that was like one of the first ones. So I'm really looking forward to like a printer that's just gonna print and like I'm not gonna have to mess around with, like, because I've gone through that. Like I understand it, but like if I could just let something do its thing, I'm gonna be happy with it. So I'm excited. We'll see.
Yeah,
I want to do
they
some
pretty much
products and
do
stuff. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, our listeners know I just went through that myself. I bought a PS1 or P1S earlier this year, and it was just like, going from an Ender, which you can't, make work at all. It was so nice.
Yeah, So that
Yeah,
was my
I have a
website.
P1S also. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Brandon?
So I don't know if I can consider it broken. Hold on. All right, so the chess board and pieces that I'm trying to make, my idea for the chess pieces, and of course I can say nobody steal my idea, right? But like it's going out to the world right now, which is ridiculous. Uh, the way I intended to make the board and pieces is the dark and light colors for the board and the pieces would be a single species of wood, right? So like for black walnut, it would be the heartwood and the sapwood. The sapwood would be the inlaid. It would be inlaid to be the squares, and it would be the pieces also. But I need to find enough sapwood to do it, etc. Long story to get to. These two pieces are cherry, right? Let's see, and they look exactly the same. Or close enough to exactly the same that you can't have one of these be a light piece and one of these be a dark piece. So I had to rethink I scrapped the whole cherry version of the project because it's just not distinct enough to work out. I have a friend who's a maker who I reached out to who works with a lot of monkey pod. I have some black walnut. Like I can do the black walnut pretty easily, but the monkey pod heart and sapwood is really distinct. Hold on, I got to draw over here. Made a monkey pod. Let's drop it down.
Yeah.
Right. So like this is pretty distinct. These would be the light pieces. This would be the dark piece. And I have no particular reason why I'm limiting myself in that way to being a single species, because I could just make maple be the other color for everything and just be good to go. But it was really disheartening because I've sculpted like 4 of these on the CNC to try and get something working, and I've been unsuccessful. So it just keeps pushing me back.
Did you cut
You sound
those
like a
on the
glutton for
Carvera?
punishment.
Oh yeah, did I what?
Cut them on the Carvera, the 3D.
Yeah. Because I don't have a rotary for my Avid, so I use the rotary on the Carvera.
Cool.
Oh, really? Okay, so now I'm going to have to contact you because this is something I'm adding a 4th axis to my current machine, and I want to learn how to do chess pieces. So we'll have to talk. Yeah.
Well,
what I really want to do is I'm trying to convince Vetric and Becky and all them. If you guys are listening, we really need to do this, which you need to add in to Easy Carve the 4th axis aspects, because I really want to just type into their AI tool like Homer Simpson as the king of a chessboard and have it do the 3D design and then just, output it on my CNC.
That's not bad.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But you were going to say, Brandon?
I have no idea what I was going to say. I'm lost in the Homer Simpson as the king.
Right. I just think it'd be so cool to do like themed sets and be able to pump them out on a 4th axis versus, hand carving them, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, so my original chessboard that I made, I didn't even have a bandsaw at the time when I made it. So all of the pieces were like designed and cut to all be done on like a table saw and my miter saw, right? So it's all geometric pieces, and the king and everything just kind of works out that way. It's on my channel somewhere. But now that I actually have, more tools, I want to just go the complete opposite end. One was like, oh, anyone can make this with nothing. And now like, here's the one that no one's going to make. None of you are going to make this chessboard.
Absolutely. Alex, what about you? Anything gone broken this week?
Yeah, I mean, I was disheartened with my bracket with my Final Four from March Madness. I love March Madness a lot. I will say I was happy with Michigan winning because they're a Big Ten school. So that makes me feel better, makes Nebraska look better. I think the only thing that I also broke was, I mean, this isn't a shop thing, but I broke a glass dish in the kitchen earlier today, which kind of surprised me. It just flew out of the fridge when I opened the door and almost landed on my foot. And it so when that glass shattered, it sent little pieces, and like one like lodged into my thumb. Like I don't know how. Yeah, it was weird. Like it hurt. Like it was like a tiny little needle piece that I got out. So fortunately,
Is it a Pyrex?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember what brand it was.
I
Who
swear
cursed your
those thick.
family? Who cursed your family to like cut their thumb? Like all the males in your lineage are just cut thumbs. That's it.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, so my other accident that I had that was like, oh, this was like 10 years ago now, was like I was drilling something and I was holding it in my hand, and it was like a GoPro case, and I was doing just fine. Like I was almost done with it, and then what happened is the side edge of it that I was close to, that broke, and so then the plastic like warped, and it caught in the twist of the drill bit and pulled it through, and then I like cut off a third of my fingernail and my middle finger. So yeah, that's probably the worst thing that I've ever had to go to the hospital for. Like I've never broken bones or anything like that. My wife is another story. She's probably got like the rewards card for like going into hospitals. Like she could like rate all of the hospitals based on their like service and
Insurance
whatnot.
companies love to see her come in.
Oh yeah, she's basically a trip advisor for hospitals or something like that.
Actually, I can do you one better. When my wife and I were foster parents, our foster son, he had small tubes in his ears, so he would get an ear infection almost every other week. And unfortunately with him, he would spike the fever at like 1 a.m. and it would go up to 103, 104. As a foster parent, we're required to take the kid in over 102. It is something that we're just required to do. So we would always end up going into the ER at 2 a.m. And so after like the 7th or 8th visit, the insurance company sent us a letter going, could you just take them in during the daytime? We're like, nope.
Could you not?
Sorry. Right. I'm like, and then they called my wife and they were like, yeah, we see that you're going to the ER a lot. And we're like, yeah, what do you want us to do? We're required by the state, and we don't get to choose when the kid throws a fever. Like, come on. We don't want to go to the ER. Trust us.
Yeah, that reminds me real quick of the other time that we had a glass dish break. So we were back in an apartment. My son was like maybe 2. I think we had swept everything up, and I think it might have been like the day after. My son was barefoot in the kitchen, and he stepped on a very small piece that was like maybe gravel sized. And what had happened is it got in his, like the bottom of his big toe, and it hurt. And so I was taking him over to the bathtub, and because his foot was moving around and there was still a little piece of glass sticking out, when it hit his other leg, it scratched his other leg. So I'm like, I've got blood coming from multiple spots. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out what was going on, like where the source of the injury was coming from. And I finally like figured out what was going on, found the piece in there. And then of course I had to like dig it out, which he did not like. So yeah, always have band-aids around for all sorts of cuts and bruises and all sorts of stuff in the shop.
Just not just boys, kids in general.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's see, where are we? Oh, for me, for me, the week I broke a bit today. It was the end of its life, but one of those moments where all of a sudden the carbide shatters and goes everywhere, and that was fun. And then yesterday I was running through, I was resawing some things for some coasters, and the bandsaw blade broke again. And this is what bothers me, because this saw blade is probably only 3 weeks old. And so I was looking at it, and I think it had a bad weld spot was the problem. Because it looks like it just like the weld came apart. It didn't tear or rip or anything. It was just broken right there. So I don't know if Timberwolf will take care of that or not. I'm going to reach out to them. They probably won't.
Tension and detension your blades after you're done with your using it? I'm just curious.
Of course not.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I don't. I think it's worse on the weld, honestly.
Yeah, that's
my hot
what I
take.
heard some people talk about is the stressing and de-stressing of it can be more harmful because you're
I would think
changing.
Yeah.
and because there's a chance that you're going to over tension it consistently, or you're warping that metal, or you're stretching that metal.
Yeah. Which is funny because when my Resaw King snapped a while ago, like it wasn't even on the weld. It was weird. But I did have like several missing teeth on that, so it was like kind of getting to the end of the life on it.
You're cutting on a bandsaw with missing teeth?
That is insane.
Bro, these are like carbide teeth that are like 2 to 3 TPI. Like it just cutting.
Yeah, that's insane.
Bandsaw's at a 2.5.
Listen, before we started the podcast, I told Duffy that you're the craziest person I've ever met in my life, and you just keep reinforcing it. You're like, yeah, you know.
And I mean, and the fact that I do half of this stuff in my running shorts.
Well, I do that too, but
dude, a bandsaw blade breaking is the biggest way to the fastest way to make you poop your pants in the shop.
Oh yeah,
ever.
it's a code brown.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
maybe I should have done that instead of taking laxatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the way. Every time it happens to me, like when it'll bust, I'm like, nope, the day's over. I'm done. I'm going in the garage or in the house and I'm playing video games. I'm done. Yeah. Well, why don't we move on to what we're watching?
Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety.
All right. I'll start off this week. So we do, for Brandon and Hunter, we'll do a round robin. So I'll do one and then Alex and so on. So my first one is where, thanks, Alex. Yeah, in our notes, it just says boobies in my first thing now.
I like leaving presents.
He does. All right. Stain and Wood Grains on Instagram dropped a cool reel of them just dropping a giant box. And I mean, like the extra large Home Depot size box of just bunches of wood scraps on the ground. And then like doing the whole like snap, and it turns into a giant wall art piece that's a huge mountain summit and with blue epoxy background. It was really pretty. But go check them out. Stain and Wood Grains on Instagram.
All right. First one that I've got. So they refer to it as a reef/kelp gun, which is basically like a harpoon gun. And this is made by Woodworking, and they made this thing out of black locust for like the body. Of course, they had like the hardware in there for the actual projectile that they had. I don't know much about this space, but I just thought it was really cool that like making that, like that'd be so awesome to have hanging in your shop, just to have, right alongside, your talking bass fish that you press the button and it starts singing. It'd be just peak man decor in your man cave.
Big Billy the Bass.
Yes.
Brandon, what about you? Who you been looking at?
Me? Oh, so these two ladies who call themselves Sayasi Design, and they make mostly dining tables, but the thing that they're known for, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, you probably have if you watch any Instagram content, but they inlay stacked patches into their woodworking, and it's like a really artistic, creative way of like filling a void or something like that. And I every time I see it, I've invited them to be a part of what we're doing, but also like I tell them how much of a fan I am, and like I need to do that one day. I just haven't found a client who's been like, yeah, go for it. But it's incredible. Sayasi Design, they're both amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My first one, no specific video, honestly, but Berlin Feather on Instagram. Nathan, he's our guy. Love his content. He recently got a new saw stop, and like I got the 5 horsepower saw stop NV right now. Yeah, I don't know, but he's always dropping some good content. I love a good watch of his stuff. Berlin Feather.
Yeah,
awesome.
I saw him make a box recently that was pretty impressive. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's talented.
My next one is FC Wood Design, and there is only one D in that word. Yes, Alex, that's how you actually spell it. I double checked, but it's FC Wood Design with only one D. They made this really cool Game Boy cartridge out of wood and matching Pokemon card out of wood, and then they packaged it up in an old like Nintendo box, and that's how they were selling and shipping them. Super cool looking, but they did all of the different colors of the Game Boy colors or the Game Boy games, which was pretty cool.
All right, the next one that I have, Kelly over at Eden Woodcrafts. So she had a reel where she had gotten a stink bug that went into like the laser lens of her laser and basically got fried in there. So like her laser wasn't working right, and so she like popped it open. It's like, oh yeah, this is why it's been smelling bad. So she had to like clean that out and get rid of it. So talk about a buggy laser.
This inspired you in something? This was great.
I mean, it's just like the things that pop up that you don't expect that you have to solve. It's just like seeing the crap that like you just wouldn't think of to like make sure that your tools are working right. Like just the random things that happen that you're like, in what world does this happen? Just like the snake getting into the seal of my garage. Like, why?
So one of my like guilty pleasures on TikTok is the guy who opens up PS5s to like or PlayStations to fix them. And when they open them up and just the amount of like cockroaches and stuff that fall out of these things, I'm like, I don't understand bugs in electronics. It's a thing apparently.
Absolutely. It's the heat and it's gross.
Yeah. It makes me really happy I don't live in a cockroach state.
My next maker is Shallow Creek Woodcraft. Her name is Ashley Piper. Yeah. She's super creative. Like she builds a lot of like furniture in like traditional style joinery and all that stuff. But she started making bench brushes. And they're so nice, I had to buy it twice, right? So I supported her, and I love the stuff that she does. Ashley at Shallow Creek Woodcraft.
Yeah, when I saw that behind you, I instantly recognized it. I was like, that has to be ones that Ashley made.
Oh, yeah.
Who is going to be on the podcast soon, right?
Yes. Nice. She is on the docket.
Nice. I'd say my second one, I don't know, I stumbled across this creator recently, and I haven't ingested a ton of his content, but his name is Seth Gould, and he has a Sauer and Steiner plane, which are already beautiful planes, but he's custom engraving it. Like, I think they're working together, and he's doing this like phenomenal design, and he today posted another video or image of his design, and then he's like adding gold leaf and like all these other like I think silver leaf to it, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen, and it makes me want to take my Lee Nielsen block plane and just start hitting it with a like and just
watch your mouth.
I can engrave now. But it's
oh my
beautiful.
Gosh, that is
it's
so beautiful.
Yeah, Seth Gould is his Instagram, and he's doing a Sauer and Steiner hand plane.
This is going to be the next thing Brandon buys now.
I never had a chance.
My last one is from Lundy Makes. She made an adorable Hello Kitty chopsticks and holder. So all hand carved, but it's little, just standard chopsticks, but the holder is the little Hello Kitty head that the chopsticks rest on. And it was all out of wood. It's adorable. So go check it out. Lundy Makes.
I'm glad that you said it rests on there, because I'm like, that would look weird sticking it into Hello Kitty, like you're stabbing her in the top of the head. Stabby. I had two more, so I'll just wrap them together. First one, Standish Wood Story had a new planter box design that she dropped. It's really nice. It's a very polished design that, like, and just looking at it, it has a kind of a trapezoidal design where it's smaller on the on the bottom, and then widens as it gets to the top, and it's got slats on the side. So like, she's just been making really cool planter boxes continually, and I just love each new design that she comes out with. And then the second one that I have to wrap up my turn is Alexander Brothers had a crayon chair that they had posted where the bottom of the legs essentially it was like it's about like an inch or so is like each color as it goes down. So it goes through your major color. It goes to like 5 different colors as it changes and goes to the bottom of the chair. So I'm always astonished by the creativity that those guys have when it comes to chair making and adding new features and new looks to chairs. Like I never get bored of seeing what they come up with.
Yeah.
My last one is there's a maker in the community who goes by Sawdust Imagery. His name is Lanny. He is a
Wizard.
I mean, he's a wizard when it comes to
yeah.
wood, but he's also a paramedic, and like he's a really good person. And he came out with a book called Timber Mountain. Ooh, and all of the scenery and characters in the book, the robots, the bird, everything. He made the robot and took these pictures. These are like on location pictures that are real. There's no AI. This isn't digitally edited. Like he made the pictures. And it's a full story of Timber Mountain. He goes to schools and donates books to kids, and he's just a real good person. So like, shout out to Lenny. Sawdust Imagery.
We totally shouted that out when he released it because I own 3 copies of it myself because I bought one for me and then gave one to my both of my nephews because it's such a good book and he's such an amazing maker.
Yeah,
I own 2, but I kept both of them.
What's super cool about him too is he's so open. Like, so I reached out to him like a year and a half ago when I was building a wooden robot for YouTube, and I was like, "Hey man, I can't figure out how you get the rotating head that is magnetic. Like, how did you do that? I'd love to, do that with mine too." And he's like, "Well, this is how I did." He sent me the places he gets his parts because he definitely orders them custom made and stuff in bulk. Yeah, he's super amazing. So. Guy's a great guy.
Yeah, he does surfboards and instruments too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Humble brag before we move on to Hunter. I went and visited his shop a couple months ago. Oh, it's like a little nook. It's barely anything. He's in like a shed, but there's robots everywhere, like heads and parts, and like you see his whole process. And he's like he loves what he does. It's incredible.
I'm so jealous that you got out there and visited. Next time him and I chatted. Next time I'm down in California, I need to swing by myself. So
I don't know why, but it just made me think of like Pinocchio, where like the wood shop where like Geppetto made Pinocchio with like the parts and stuff.
He's absolutely a today Geppetto. Yeah,
just magical. Yeah. My last one, I'm gonna recommend checking out Richard at 13th Woodworks. He just started his Instagram, so like there's not a lot of content on there. He has a lot of content on TikTok. I found him, and Brandon's familiar with him. He was building a crib for his nephew, and like he freaking killed this thing. It's ash, walnut, brass accents. And the TikTok, if you go follow his TikTok, he made a ton of videos going through the whole process. His Instagram page has all this finished stuff. Turned out super good. He's a great maker, and I think he only has like 13 followers on Instagram right now. So like, go check him out, give him a follow. And TikTok's only a couple hundred, but he's like super talented.
It's 14 now.
Woodwork. Oh, let's go. 13th Woodworks is his at, and he's. I'm excited to see what he does next. I think he's making maybe a day bed for his son, so it'll be fun.
No, yeah, that crib that he has posted in there is amazing.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, he did a really good job.
Nice. All right, guys, you know what time it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Nice.
All right, so tonight's main topic is the main event, which is why we have Hunter and Brandon on tonight to talk about. So, what is the main event, guys?
What is the main event? Now I gotta jump right in. I'm gonna let you close it out. But like the main event is like the woodworking event for the rest of us. You know, I met both of you guys at Workbench Con, RIP.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
were on a break.
And you know, I encourage everyone to, like, whether it's the main event or any woodworking event, like I encourage everyone to like experience that community building, like just getting to meet the other makers and like be in that energy and that environment where everyone loves the same thing and we're all passionate about it. And you know, you make lifelong friends just by like one random thing that you've gone to, because like we relate to each other and all our little quirks and kinks and all that stuff. Like we are our people. But, you know, Workbench Con was like prohibitive to go to, right? The tickets cost a fortune, the hotel cost a fortune, the flight cost so it was a commitment to go to it. And we do a lot of live streams on TikTok. And a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I'm going to Workbench Con this week or this thing some other week. And they'll be like, you know, I wish I could go to one of those things. I'm like, dude, you could go. Like, it's open. Like, you could just buy a ticket. Like, it's open to the public. And they're like, yeah, but, you know, it's for you. Like, it's not for me, though. Like, I'm just a woodworker. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get it. But, like, they're like, nah. So, like, Hunter and I were at another event. And we were like, you know, we could just do it. Like, we could just throw an event for, like, our community and makers and people who, like, are regular woodworkers and just not price the tickets out of everyone's reach and just make it about us. And the people who are presenting are people from like the community and real woodworkers and people that we respect and love, like Sayasi Design and Shallow Creek will both be presenters at this year's event and like teaching how they do the things that they do. And all the coolest companies, right? Like we made sure that any company, we didn't just reach out to no district filler companies. I'm not going to name any company. But we had like for our first year and still going forward, like Bad Axe Toolworks was our like one of our sponsors, or like Shaper Tools, and like Lee Nielsen was there, and all the companies that we like respected and had like cachet within our community. Like the woodworking community was like, we like these companies, and those are the companies that we invited in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw somebody under the bus. So you're not gonna have any random tens unit companies with booths at your.
We outright refused, and we turned down like dollars like from companies.
Oh, wow.
Because we were like, nah, not like, no, thank you, right? Like we've got enough finish, right? Like we don't need Joe finish.
Yeah, at that last event with the tens unit, that guy was pushy too with his sales, and that was
gosh. I just want to, I've used one before, and I sat down just to give it another shot, and they were like, "This one's $1,200," and I knew you could buy it on Amazon for $23.
Yep.
And he was like, "But today we're cutting it on half price," and then I was like, "Nah, I'm all set." And the girl's like, "What about $250?" I was like, "You guys came down real quick." And I was like, no,
I doubt they made a sale.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I don't know. Brandon kind of hit the nail on the head there. I've only been to a handful of events, and there are elements to each that I really liked, but elements that I didn't like about certain ones. And so, yeah, I know we literally just were spitballing one day, and we're like, why don't we just do this? And let's put something together. And, last year was our first year, and Brendan and I like came down from such a high after the event. It blew all of our expectations. We doubled our attendance rate that we thought we were going to have for our first year. And like everybody just was so positive, and people flew from out of state that I've never met before in my life. That like, it was crazy. It was just wild, and it was such a blast. And this year is just like ramped up dramatically. It was a 1-day event last year. We already are expanding it to a 2-day event, so if you're traveling, it's you got a full weekend of all sorts of good stuff to do. And it really was like magical. People were throwing out it's like the first year of Makers Camp, and I wasn't there for that, but that was being thrown out. So I don't know. It's the start of something pretty good, I think. And we're really lucky and fortunate to be a part of such a amazing community and supportive community. And like Brendan was saying, like we're all just love woodworking, and like any place where we can nerd out and just like be with our people, it's just another place that is just going to thrive. So
for the person who hasn't been to any other woodworking events, who don't have a reference point, what could they expect in terms of like what the physical layout looks like? You had mentioned speakers. What, maybe run us through
Venue,
maybe what it was
that kind of
like
stuff.
last year and the stuff that you have planned for this year.
Yep. Yeah. So the event's actually hosted at my shop and property. So if you follow me on Instagram, whatever, you can come see my shop. Cool. But the layout is, we do an outdoor one similar to Maker Camp. So we have tents set up all over the place. We have a main presentation tent where we have a schedule for big speakers to do their presentations. We have a TV and camera and slideshow, all that stuff. So last year we had how to hand cut dovetails and, things like that, sharpening your card scraper. This year we're adding a bunch more demonstrations throughout the day at our standard like vendor tents, so you'll go over to BADX and there'll be somebody showing you how to hand cut with their BADX saw or whatever, so demonstrations like that throughout the day. And then we really like when you go to an event and you walk away with something that like you made there. So last year we were doing name tags, and we CNC'd them with the bench pilot with the shaper origin. This year we might do some 3D printing of label, like all that stuff, and more CNC and stuff like that. You go around and let's say you need to sand your name tag, you go over to the sanding station at the sanding tent, and then you go finish it with one of our finishes at the finishing station. So stuff like that's happening. You get to learn a lot from our presenters, super knowledgeable. And like, honestly, a lot of the fun is just getting to hang out with all the people too. So there's good space and to hang out and do that stuff. But so it's nice structured things to go see. Then we have all of our vendors. They're selling products. We believe in these vendors. We had some really incredible vendors last year. Like Heartwood Tools came last year, and Leslie at Heartwood Tools sells like she imports these beautiful hand tools from like Australia, H&T Gordon and stuff. And like, all I gotta say is if you come, like, make sure you have been saving up some money aside, because I bought, I think, something from every booth we had. So vendors, all that stuff, some really good presentations, some good hands-on activities, and hopefully.
Yeah, I think the way we have it set up, that kind of differentiates us a little bit. Or if you haven't been to an event, what you might enjoy is like, if you go to the class, like there's an epoxy class being taught by Brittany Carbone, and like Brittany's an amazing epoxy artist, and like she'll be teaching people like on the spot, like how she does her designs. And it's sponsored by Total Boat. So Total Boat gave enough epoxy that there'll be a tent there that you're able to make something. And like if you bring your family and some children, and they'll be able to like participate and make something. Or like the chopsticks that you'll be able to create there. The goal is to have you be able to, it's kind of awkward sometimes when you go to these places because you don't really have a reason to visit some booths. So like, there might be a booth over there that has something cool, but you have no relation to them. And so the vendor might be sitting there awkwardly. And we don't want it to feel like a sales event, right? Like you go there to like enjoy yourself and to learn something. But there are people who are like showing off their products and stuff like that. Like Andy Klein will be there. He just created a new product. He makes one of the best bench vices in the world. So like you'll be able to like pick his brain and understand like how he comes up with his design, things of that nature. And in theory, there's a flow to the event where, you start here, you maybe on the CNC or on the Shaper Origin, you've cut out a product, and then you bring it to the oh, you need a station to sand it, and like that gives them a reason to talk about their sanders and sandpaper and stuff like that. And then you'll bring it to the Sutherland Wells booth to apply finish to it, right? Like so, or maybe, and then you'll bring it maybe to the laser station to like laser engrave it. And like you are doing all of those things. It's not just like you bring it there and I laser engrave it and then you walk away with something laser engraved. Nope, it's all on you, right? Maker's Camp style. If you've been to Maker's Camp,
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you get to sample that particular hobby or that particular skill set and see what it's like if you do like it, or maybe you find out it's not your thing. Because I know that because one event that I went to a while ago was Handworks, which is in Amana, Iowa, and that's like every 2 years, and that one's kind of been like, I think they brought it back for this year. And one draw for me was like a lot of these vendors, sometimes your only exposure to them is online, and sometimes it's tough knowing like what works for me with my like ergonomics. And I was able to like test out stuff and find out like, you know, Lee Nielsen versus Veritas, like which one do you actually like more? Because one like might look really good online, but like you find out that in person when you're taking a few swipes that you like one over the other. And honestly, like we've probably all been there where we've like bought a tool that we thought would be like really great and then we don't end up using it. It's like for the cost of going to the event and figuring out which tool that you want, like you're probably going to make more informed tool purchases and actually get what it is you're looking for, because you had a chance to have it hands-on and have someone give you a little bit of input to be like, oh yeah, like have your elbow like this or whatnot. Like it's like, you know, cutting dovetails and whatnot. Like there's some biomechanic things that like make it better. And if you're not doing it, like even a good saw can have trouble if like your elbow's out and you're not cutting straight and all sorts of stuff. So there's so many intangibles that factor into that come into play.
not to mention we like, not to brag, but we got the best giveaways of any event you've ever
I
been
was
to.
gonna say.
We
Oh,
we
you got
gave away
giveaways. All right.
we gave away like 10 squares from Woodpeckers. We like someone won a bad axe dovetail saw. Someone
Nielsen
won
plane.
a Lee Nielsen block plane. We had Joburg's bench vices. We had Feisch drill bits. We like all the nicest stuff. The finish we gave away, tons of finish, tons of like every booth was like, oh, how do I 1620 workwear was like, yeah, we'll give away free workwear. Like, absolutely. And then just like everyone was in.
Yeah, it was great.
Not to brag. Not to brag.
Yeah. No, it was a blast. No way that my camera just
Dude,
cut.
Hunter is the worst. We gotta
No,
fire this guy.
Like what? Like I didn't even touch my computer, bro. I might just. Should I leave again and come back?
Sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go for it. You know, while he's gone, I will give Hunter a lot of credit, because without him, the event wouldn't take place. He really does a lot of the like groundwork for the event, and he's annoying. Basically, what happened?
What? I heard the little compliment. I'll take it.
No, and like it is held on his property, like and the vendors need days ahead to set up stuff and break down, and like a lot of our community, like just makers, are like, man, I'll be there a day early, I'll stay a day late to help the CNC companies take apart what they need, or like help run whatever needs to be done. Like it's really mind blowing sometimes, like how much the community comes through for us.
Yep.
That is awesome. That is my biggest holdup right now. Like I'm excited to have you guys on, because I do want to pick your brain, and we can pick this off camera too at times. But it is my goal to start a West Coast maker camp of some kind. And so, yeah, having you guys, this is your second year, you guys are going through that, how do you get started, how to grow in. So eventually I want to pick your brains on that, because
Totally.
but my big holdup is right now is like I'm trying to figure out the space for it, and because we don't have our property yet. So
Yeah, thankfully that was a huge factor to be like, we can do it, like, because we have space, there's space on the property. Like, it would have been a whole different stressor to like have to rent a venue, and that's a big financial strain. So like first year was, that's a huge benefit to be able to have that.
How much space do you have for the like set up for this? Is it a couple of acres that you've set aside, or
what is an acre even? What would you say, Brandon?
Okay, how about this? How big is your property?
It takes place. The main amount of it takes place on about an acre, right? Like about an acre worth of space. There's a field of about an acre that we also use for parking and stuff like that adjacent to the property.
Yeah, an acre.
Yeah. What I will say, just as a suggestion, whoever it is, like whatever team you have that you work with, because it's going to be exhausting and way more work than you expect. And just all the little things add up quickly. But just whomever is with you, like it's basically me and Hunter, but like we do have members of the community who are like, no, I'll reach out. I'll do what I can do. I'll schedule some posts and stuff like that. But just make sure y'all are on the same page, because Hunter and I agreed from the beginning, like, if we don't make any money, we don't make any money. We'll just try not to lose any money, right? So like, there was no pressure where Hunter was like, oh, I need to spend $1,000 on ads. I was like, I don't care. Right? Like, go for it, right? Like, we just had that level of trust where I'm like, oh, I need reimbursement for, canvassing this area. The check was cut, right? Like, there was no questions, no problems. We're in agreement on how things should happen. And if he needs some artistic, like, oh, I think the t-shirt should look this way. I'm like, I think it should look that way, but you know what? Go for it. Right? Like, go, whatever. Right? Like, we trust each other enough to give each other the flexibility. Like, oh, I reached out to this company and I gave them a deal. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, Brendan and I have known each other for, what is it, like not even 4 years, I'd say. And we literally just met on TikTok. And like, here we are 4 years later, like literally hosting an event together. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what the internet can do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, I mean, we didn't really touch on, we're trying to keep ticket prices super low. So for both days, it's $40. If you only come one day, we're doing 25, so 40 is a cheaper deal for 2 days. And our goal is in the future to honestly like get them cheaper, if not free. Like we want our brands to be, fronting that cost for everybody. But since we are still early on, like we need that little bit of extra to make sure we can host another great event next year and stuff. But that's significantly more affordable than some of the other ones out there.
And it does say on your website, is it still children 12 and under free?
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Absolutely.
Totally.
Which that makes it very easy to bring the family to do a lot of fun stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And I will say last year, a lot of the men, this is going to sound stereotypical, brought their wives, and their wives were like, we're going to go to the beach after. Like, we don't have any interest in woodworking. We don't do any woodworking. And there were like 6 couples of the wives that like stayed the entire day and came to us afterwards, and we're like, we have never been interested in his hobby at all, and like we had so much fun today, and like it was so cool. It was so cool, and it was like, this is great. So it was just like that vibe, that atmosphere.
The other thing that like tangentially had a similar feeling was, there in the center of the event, there's a big tent with the chairs and stuff like that for the presentations, right? So like, imagine that's the stage tent, and around it is all the activities and all that stuff. In the stage tent, the first year there was like 80 to 100 seats, and we're like, people will cycle in and out and they'll do this stuff. There was like 20 people who, before we even opened, like if we opened at 10, they were there at 9, and they sat in the presentation tent and never moved. 8 hours, they were just locked in. I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, we are restructuring a little bit this year, so there's dead time in between, because I was like, that was so incredible that they were like having such a good time in there. Mm-hmm. But I was like, but we want you to be able to move around a little bit, so we restructured that slightly. But no, it was so cool. It was really cool.
Well, hold on.
So
while we got you guys here for feedback, what's something that you think is a good like something you both been to a decent amount of events, both been to Workbench Con. What's something that you think like, oh man, you guys should definitely implement this, you guys should definitely avoid that? And I realize this is on the spot, these questions were not asked in advance, but is there anything like you feel like, oh, this was primo?
I mean, the biggest thing from honestly out of all the events I've been to, you're already doing with the cost of the ticket, and that is a huge one. I would just say make sure if you can try to have something in there for everybody, as far as the small guys who are just getting started, and then the Brittany Carbones of the world, or the Blacktail Studio. If those guys show up, make sure that they're just not like, oh, we're the guys that was the one thing I heard a lot from Workbench Con, which was, well, why should we go anymore? Because there's not an opportunity for us to continue to grow. So yeah.
One thing that comes to mind, and this is more like the growing pains of Maker Camp, is like everyone knew going into it that like certain stations like filled up super quick, and it's just a hard one to predict what people want to, because you only have so much material to have on hand to like have people in those courses. But just making sure that people are aware of like what's going to be available, and if like there's certain like only a certain number of seats, like trying to communicate that early on potentially, because it was like I knew from talking to other people, it's like, all right, to get to the leatherworking station at Maker Camp, like you got to show up early in order to get a spot. So like I heard that through other people, so that's how I figured that out and got my spot in there. They're like, oh yeah, usually it's less busy during this time or whatnot, and you can actually get into a spot, because I mean that factors into what you guys have already had as your objective, is just getting more of that exposure to more people at the event. So yeah, I don't know if I have like a actual solution to that one, but I know that the communication of like the schedule and like how to reserve seats or whatnot, which it sounds like you're doing stuff like that already for like the speakers, to make sure that you're getting as many people as possible to be able to experience that, so they don't like show up and they like feel like they didn't get to do anything because they're like basically filled up by the time that they had gotten there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, we love feedback, and that was like something that we leaned heavily into our first years. Like everybody that goes to these events or has been to an event or hasn't been to an event, I'm like, what do you want? Like what is exciting to you? Like we are just makers. Like Brandon and I are just furniture makers that like enjoy events and like wanted to put something on. So like it's just real. Like we're doing this, we're learning how to do this better, and like what are the things from last year that we can do better this year? Like how can we do giveaways better this year? Like, like it was fun the way we did it last year, but like we can do it a little more structured this year. And so it's a journey, it's a challenge, but like it's so rewarding. Like I feel like Brandon and I, right before we got to the event last year, we were like, oh, dude, we're so burnt. Like, is this going to be worth it? And then, like I said, like for the week after, we were just like on this high, just like that just really happened. Like literally that night, we just like sat at a campfire and we're just like, did that actually just go off like that? And it was just, it's such an incredible feeling to be like able to bring that to people. And so, like any feedback that anybody can give us at any point, we'd love to hear it. We want to be able to do what our attendees want to do and bring that to you. So yeah, we're here for it.
My only bone I have to pick with you guys is that you picked August.
What's in August that you don't like?
No, for some reason, 2026 is the year of all woodworking shows are in August or later.
True, yeah, like IWF.
So you've got Maine, you've got yours, you've got IWF, you've got Handworks, you've got Woodworking America, Texas Woodworking, Vetric, Maker Camp. They're almost all like a week or a weekend apart from each other.
Yeah, it's true.
You want to know what's crazy is when we picked the date, we were looking at the calendar like, where's the most space? Like, oh, everything was front loaded. It was Maker Workbench Con was super early, AWFS was early, like it was like, all right, and then after that nothing happens, right? And there's one that we visit sometimes in Canada called Rust Fest, and that was in July, and we're like, that's the last one until Makers Camp, so why don't we just slide right in the middle and it'll be great.
Here we are.
Yep. Everyone picked at the end of the year this year, and I'm like, well, now I have to decide which ones I'm going to because I can't afford to go to all of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One other thing that I had. Did you guys have karaoke last year?
We didn't.
We did not,
but we can.
But go on.
That is one that will get the performers out of your makers who love an audience.
True.
I mean, you do have a very large karaoke group at Maker Camp, and then even at Texas this last year, there was a group of like 30 that went karaokeing one night.
All right, it's on the list.
Yeah, because it basically it's an opportunity to perform and have fun, but it's also something for like the audience that gets to see what people are doing as well. Like, I mean, it just seems to be a very popular, fun thing to do at a lot of these events.
This is just Alex saying he wants to sing.
No, that sounds great. And we are working on partnering with a local brewery. So we might actually, like, it might make even more sense. Like, that sounds great.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Wait, actually, speaking of who we're partnering with, our marquee sponsor this year is Carbon Method. So we have to give them a shout out. Like they've given us a ton of support. The guys there are excellent. The product is amazing, right? Like as soon as they said they were interested in being like our title sponsor, we were like, we need you. Like this is perfect. We would absolutely love to have you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're a great group.
I have used many a Carbon Method on projects. That was the ceramic coating that I put on my, was it the 28 or 29 church pews that I refinished? Jeez. So I am dialed in on ceramic coatings.
Yeah.
One of my favorite baseball caps comes from Carbon Method because I love their little logo. The now I'm gonna think of the blank on the word. The bow tie logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The word escaped me too. I was drawing it. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But playing Pictionary.
Yeah, and there's just certain companies that have like the end, like if you've gone to any show, like the Total Boat people, their booth is always rocking, right? Like there's music playing, everyone's going there for like cider and like just hanging out at the Total Boat booth because like all the people there are like exciting and bringing joy and fun and stuff like that. And like the Carbon Method people are cool. The Morgan Square, Shannon is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like there are certain people who you're like, man, I don't care what you're selling. Right? Like, please come be a part of our event.
Yep.
Yeah, I love when she shows up. I last got to see her at Texas, but also at AWSF, and man, she is so fun.
Yeah, she's great. I requested she bring the hat she was wearing in Texas. She was wearing it.
Yes.
Like,
I think she gave them away.
She said she.
So I'm sure
she said she's bringing a hat.
Oh, does she have one?
She's got to figure it out.
I was like, because I saw her, one of the hats at least got given away to somebody, and he was sitting there talking about how he was going to have to get it on the airplane.
Yeah.
Guys, now, as we're reaching the end of this thing, let me tell you, I feel a little disappointed that I'm like the only one like in a shop stage. Like I feel like you guys set me up. Like,
Alex is
I've
in a
got my
shop.
CNC
but
literally
it's
right behind me. There's a dust collector back in there. Like,
yeah, but turn the lights on. Why are you in the dark right now?
Seriously,
so that you can see my face.
No.
What?
You can't have even lighting. There's lighting here. Lighting here.
See, that's what it looks
okay.
like in full
Beautiful.
light.
All right, yeah, no.
Oh, it's settling.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
It's
No,
subtle.
that looks-
Okay.
Jet sander now.
Yeah,
See,
no,
now
I
you just
think
need some accent lighting, some blues, and
Yeah, I feel like that could work.
My
Gosh,
desktop
my
isn't.
eyes
in
are
the shop,
like,
Brandon. Come on. You don't like the backdrop
That's on
of
you,
this
bro.
white wall?
That's on you, bro.
I mean, I put a
All right,
bowl
so this
over here.
event it's August 8th and 9th, right?
Yes, correct.
Are the 2 days.
Yep.
And then to stay on top of all of the information as you get more and more details as they get closer, where's the best place for people to find out like the latest on what's happening?
Yeah.
The Maine Woodworking Event Instagram page. We'll have all the updates and blasts going out from there. We have a mailing list that you can sign up for on the mainwoodworkingevent.com. But all you have, like, just keep in mind, it's the main event. Like, let's get ready to rumble. You have to be there. The Maine Woodworking Event. Just as we have a lot of like really interesting names and sponsors and companies and stuff this year. So you'll be hearing from a lot of them as well. Why is everyone who's a part of our event this year? Can we spill some names, Hunter? Who's coming?
What, you want me like sponsor names?
No, I met some makers, some makers who are doing some things.
Well, you already told us Brittany's coming.
Yeah.
Brittany's holding it down.
I mean, do you want to announce them?
Yeah, come on, let's get some out there. Yeah.
Yeah, give us a little exclusive.
All right. Well, Brandon, do you want to drop a certain one, or do you
Go for it. Yeah, Michael
Fab
Fab Design will be helping us showing off like pattern plywood designs and doing a full miniature class on how he does his pattern plywood and all of those things. Brittany Carbone, we said. Ashley Piper will be there. Last year, Saltwell Designs did a card scraper demonstration on how to sharpen a card scraper, how to pull shavings. And he had just someone who was in the crowd who had never pulled a card scraper shaving, like sharpen a card scraper, pull a full curl, like as though it was a hand plane shaving. Everyone gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We gave out branded card scrapers to the crowd. We will be giving out branded card scrapers again, but they're limited in quantity. So if you'd like one, get there quick.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch of people from our community, smaller creators, like, creators. They're still woodworkers, whatever. You don't have to have 1 million followers to be a presenter at our event. That's what we're saying. It's for everyone. So Saltwell.
Boney Boards will be doing wood turning.
Yep. We got some wood turners. We got Whitewater.
Daniela Gray Elephant is Whitewater.
Yeah.
Daniela Gray Elephant is supposed to be showing the scroll saw art, and she's like incredible. I have a few pieces of hers in my shop right now, but I'd have to like move around a lot, and I don't want to be too animated. But she's incredible. He said Whitewater. He's going to be doing a like finding your niche. It'll all be on the website.
Yeah.
Check out the website or follow us
page.
on Instagram. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so people who are traveling from out of state fly into Portland, Maine.
Yes.
And then it's what, like a 20-minute drive south of the airport?
I mean, I'm 12. My shop is 12 minutes from the airport. So it's super close. We
Perfect.
have a hotel block live up on the website now, so you can get discounted hotel rates. And again, I think that hotel was 10, 12 minutes from the shop. That is the beauty of like my space. It's nice, it's not a maker's camp. You don't have to fly in 2 hours away and travel up and drive and all that stuff. So it's pretty easy to get to. The Portland, Maine airport.
Is there Uber in your area so that people don't have to rent a car?
Yep, totally.
Yeah. What I will say though, the area is like a very nice, popular vacation town. And the surrounding towns, like there's a lot of beaches and like it's a place people go. So if you're looking to take advantage of the hotel block, you should probably do that sooner than later because those spots fill up kind of quickly.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's heavily discounted. It gets pricey in that area, like as you get closer. So just something to prepare.
Like
for.
Connecticut pricey or
no, like Maine pricey.
Yeah, Maine.
like lobster pricey.
Lobster pricey, exactly.
Dude, one of the things that we had last year that we are hoping to have again this year, and it's kind of a closed door thing. This isn't open to the public, but it was like a huge bit of camaraderie for like the presenters and the people who helped put the event together with us. We had like a big lobster dinner barbecue thing where we just had lobsters for everybody, and everyone had like time to hang out and get to know each other and meet each other. So even past like the community of it from the outward standpoint, from the inside, like we want to also make that feel like you are part of the family, like you really came together, and like thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it was cool.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being part of the show today and telling us about the event. I'm going to be looking up airline tickets here shortly myself because I really want to come. So we'll see what I can do. Alex, you got to do it too.
Yeah,
We'd love to have you.
Look and see.
We're still
the nice thing is that's before cross country season starts, which that was a scheduling conflict with Maker Camp for me that popped up, so it becomes possible.
We'll take.
Yeah, we're still working with the people at Next Wave to get them to be a part of the event. So we'll tell them that Duffy might be there.
Okay. Yeah. I've got people I can get you to reach out to too.
Cool.
So.
All right. Yeah. No, we've been communicating with them. So hopefully, but they're a bit slower to commit. So we're trying.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and always remember.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night. Make sure to drink your Ovaltine laxative.